Thank you everyone for taking the time out today. Very good afternoon, and I welcome everybody to the session on JoVE. I'm Prerna Bhanushali, Manager for the Customer Success Team at JoVE for EMEA India. For a little bit of my background, I have done my PhD in Applied Biology from Hafkin Institute, University of Mumbai. After my PhD, I came across JoVE and I joined JoVE as a curriculum specialist. My role at JoVE is actually to provide support to faculty members who have, subscribed to JoVE resources and help them get the most out of their subscription, help them curate content based on their course requirements, their research topics, anything that is relevant for them, I can bring together from across the JoVE platform. I have joining me on this call my colleagues from JoVE, Dharma, Sandeep, and Yutika Lad. If you have any questions during the session, you can put this in the chat. My colleagues will be taking care of these questions. If you have any question that you would like me to answer during the session, please feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. At the end of the session, we will also open it for an open discussion where you can also ask more questions. We will be keeping this entire session a bit of informative and then a little more of interactive. So I will be walking you through certain activities and you can feel free to do so. So starting with JoVE, we are Journal of Visualized Experiments. And over the next few minutes, we are 40 to 45 minutes actually, we are going to walk through the JoVE platform, navigating JoVE resources. We will look at accessing JoVE resources. We will also talk about JoVE support that we help faculty members with, CS support, and then we will open this to questions. So this is our CEO, Moshe Pritzker. The reason why I bring him in picture is to talk to you about the inception of JoVE. As a young researcher, he was trying to complete an experiment based on the traditional text-based protocols. However, he was unable to do so. He was then sent across from his university at Princeton to Edinburgh University. And while the experience of, intellectual exchange, learning experiments was brilliant, it did cost him 2 months of his time as well as consumables amounting to $10,000. Now, on his way back, he came up with the idea that, if we can complement a research article with a video component that is focused on the methodology that is centric to that particular experiment, it would be easy to replicate and capture the little nuances of that experiment and reproduce the outcomes. Thus was born JoVE, Journal of Visualized Experiments. Fast forward to today, we are a 15,000 plus video library and we are growing as we have 1,200 plus new videos published every year. We have 1,000 plus subscribers globally. Universities across do take the subscription and the resources are very useful for them. Thus, we have 24/7 access worldwide. Because of the global audience that we cater to, there are 10 plus languages in translations, that is subtitles and voiceovers, and 10,000 plus protocols that can be easily downloaded and cited. Coming to JoVE webpage, this is what you would see when you visit the JoVE website, that is www.jove.com. So there are certain elements that I want to highlight right here. This is the sign-in option that you see on the right side of your screen. Then we have the research and the education drop-down menus. The Faculty Resource Center, where students, researchers, and faculty members can find curated playlist. And this big search toolbar that can be used to key in relevant topics. And you can find the video articles from both research and education side. So coming to the research side, we have two products, JoVE Journal and JoVE Encyclopedia of Experiments. And on the education side, we have JoVE Core, JoVE Science Education, JoVE Lab Manual, and JoVE Video Textbook. So first covering the JoVE research section, which is where JoVE actually started from. We have about 13 subdisciplines in which we have journal articles. Each journal article is complemented with a video component, focusing on the methodology critical to that experiment. The author walks you through the entire inception, the methodology, and also the results and conclusion of that experiment and that research article. The journal is peer-reviewed, multidisciplinary, and indexed in PubMed, Web of Science, Scopus, and more. We also have a methods collection where guest editors have are reviewing these abstracts and manuscripts, and they create a curation of like a review of literature for techniques that could be applicable to different sections. Coming to a video article page, once you find a relevant video of your choice, you will see a page that appears like this. So in the center, you will see the video toggle, the video page playing, and you can also select the subtitles for it. You can go through the different chapters through the timestamps. So this is especially useful if you're revisiting a particular video. You can have the text article side. So the entire text protocol, text article for this video article will be present. Different embedding options and accessibility options, like adding this video to a playlist, embedding the video for maybe a conference externally, and you can also share this on different social media platforms. You are also prompted related videos in case you're looking for literature survey. Coming to the text article side, where the entire text protocol is present, you can see the video thumbnail play on the right side corner of your screen. You have different options to swift through different sections within the text article, or you can scroll right down. You can download the PDF or and also download the material list. This can be useful if you want to recreate and replicate that particular experiment. You can also cite this article. This is especially useful for researchers and for PhD students. Now, coming to the second side of the product on JoVE research side is JoVE Encyclopedia of Experiments. This is an online video resource for Encyclopedia of Experiments that basically answer the why behind the experiment steps, experiment reagents, and the entire protocol. This is especially useful for academia and biotech labs. These contain detailed animations and step-by-step video demonstrations with scientists performing these experiments. On the biology side, we have Drosophila, C. elegans, and zebrafish, model organisms. Just to give you a glimpse of it, this is what the internal pages look like. So for example, for the Drosophila model, we have experiments based on their life stages. For C. elegans, based on the techniques. And again, for zebrafish, the life stages. The cancer research side, we have different themes of cancer research. For example, breast cancer, colorectal cancer, prostate, head and neck cancer. All of the experiments highlighted here will always explain the why behind, a particular step that you're doing. This then helps scientists and researchers to actually standardize their experiments. If you know the purpose of a step, like for example, for a protein like MMP9, which is scarcely present but still abundant in cancerous cells, a blocking step in a Western blot will actually not let you detect that particular protein. But if you understand the reason behind the step, you can completely modulate and change the experiment protocol, and you can identify the proteins. It's a glimpse here of different uh, videos that we have present in different sections. For example, this is breast cancer, this is lung cancer, and this is leukemia. A lot of experiments present in Encyclopedia of Experiments, the entire collection, could also be relevant for interdisciplinary streams. Like, for example, this could be useful for cell culture and cell biology. Now, coming to the education side with a little perspective, a lot of faculty members started using the JoVE research videos for demonstrating techniques to students. However, because the research articles only name a particular technique and do not explain the underlying principle, we brought in JoVE education to fill that lacuna. So on the job education side, we have 7 subdisciplines, 8 now actually, because we also have statistics. So we have different products: JoVE Core, JoVE Science Education, JoVE Lab Manual, and JoVE Video Textbook, which encompass between these different subject areas. We will be looking at each of these different products in the next few slides. Coming to Jove Core, it looks like a video textbook that will be very useful for primary and supplementary teaching resources. Very useful, like a refresher course for incoming batches of undergraduate students. Currently comes in subject areas of biology, molecular biology, chemistry, organic chemistry, physics, cell biostats, and social psychology. What this offers is animations of high impact animations in videos with 90-second long videos. They explain and bring key introductory concepts to life. And we also have a section of scientists in action, which lets students understand the application of these concepts. So if we are showing a video on, say, a CRISPR-Cas, we can then show them a scientific video, a research video to see the applications. This is the newest release within the core section. So this is Jove Core Physics. Just to give you a glimpse of how it appears, we have different chapters. And within each chapters, we then have different videos that are covering different topics. All of the videos in Jove Core will come with quiz banks. Coming to Jove Lab Manual section, this is another product that is very useful for introductory labs. Currently comes in biology and chemistry series. What this product offers is a step-by-step perspective for different streams. For example, for instructor preparation, the videos will offer the learning objective, the list of materials that are required to prepare for this experiment, and the lab preparation guide. The concept video is useful for making students understand the concept, the underlying principle behind the experiment they are about to perform, and the student protocol that lets students get a step-by-step instruction of how they need to perform the experiment. This is a glimpse of biology, lab manual biology, and chemistry. There are more protocols, but the screenshot is limited. Coming to Jove's science education, we have a number of different collections. First is a basic biology. There are 6 collections within this. Experiments and methodologies here are about 8 to 12-minute long, and every section focuses on the evolution of a particular technique or an instrument and how they can be used and how to perform these techniques. For example, general lab techniques contains videos even on something very basic as micropipetter. A lot of PhD students find it hard to provide dissertation trainees with pipettes without basically affecting its calibration, and this can help a lot of dissertation trainees also. We have PCR techniques covered and cell culture and hemocytometer counting of cells. We also have molecular cloning involved in this particular section of basic methods. Different experiments on model organisms, lab animal research, and the lab safety section, which could be useful for a lot of biosafety committees in every institute. Advanced biology goes a little more deep into the specialization. So we have neuroscience, developmental biology, genetics, immunology, microbio, and cell biology. This is chemistry collection. So everything from general chemistry to inorganic, organic chemistry. You also have analytical chemistry. So instrumentation and methodology focusing on demonstrating, say, a chromatography technique or a spectroscopy or a Malditov. Everything is explained here. This is clinical skills, engineering, which contains bioengineering, chemical engineering, materials engineering, environmental sciences, physics, and psychology collections. Certain few features that help instructors on the video page of a JoVE video article is that faculty members can easily navigate to different timestamps or steps of a particular protocol. Faculty members can also create quizzes just to understand the comprehension for their students. They can embed this video and make this accessible for their students based on their course guides. And also, they can read through the entire protocol. On the student side also, we have a certain few features that could be useful. For example, speed regulation. They can make the video go faster or slower depending on how they would like it. They can also have the subtitles and closed captions on. This can help them with catching up with the voiceover that is played along the video. They can also navigate and read through the entire protocol. This is the JoVE book, the one in the chemistry section. So this new book is basically providing students with a more of a reading material along with the glimpse of what is expected. So it engages students through both visual and reading material. We have different chapters here, 12 of them. And if you go to, say, a particular chapter, you will see the JoVE video play at the center. And then students can find a little more of the reading material. They also find exercises to do. They will also find key terms, just like you would in a standard textbook. And you can also use the equations as flashcards for students that can be very engaging and useful for last minute revisions. That was the informative part of the webinar, and now we come into the interactive part. Here, I will request you guys to actually open another web browser and maybe go to jove.com. And if you'd like, you can follow through the instructions that I would talk about. So getting started with JoVE is very easy. You can create a JoVE account. Through a faculty JoVE user account, you can also access the playlists, the quizzes, and also embed videos. So if you are on campus, you can just go to jove.com and you'll be able to access videos. But for remote access, that is off-campus access, you can do either a remote access through Shibboleth or Open Athens, and you can also create a JoVE user account using your institutional email ID. There are a few features that we have with JoVE user account. So it enables the faculty only features. You can watch videos off campus. You can embed a video and make them accessible to students. You can also get access to the JoVE quizzes, which is only available to faculty members. You can also access your playlist that we create for you. These will always be available in your account and you don't have to hunt for them in your inbox. You can also post questions and comments for articles and authors. So creating a JoVE account is very easy. You can just go to jove.com and the sign in option that I highlighted earlier in my slide, you can click on that. So once you do that, it'll bring out this particular form and you can select create an account. You will need to enter your institutional email ID as the subscription or the access identifies the institutional email domain, and just enter the captcha information here. If anybody would like me to go slow or is trying this parallelly, please let me know and I will go slower. Once you enter the captcha information, you will receive a verification email in your mailbox. So if you don't receive it in your inbox, it could land in your spam folder because it's an automated email and it depends on the stringency of the mailbox. You can then select and manage your account preferences. For faculty members, you can select PI professor. For researchers, you can select postdoc or PhD or a researcher and so on. You can fill in these little few details and then your account is ready to go. Now, the next thing we would do once we are on JoVE platform is finding a relevant article. So you can actually find a relevant article for yourself by keying in the keyword that is of your interest. For example, if I want to look for a video that is on DNA helix, I will just type in DNA helix and they will appear from both the research as well as education section. If you're teaching an advanced level class, you can combine the education as well as research videos. If you're teaching an incoming batch of undergraduate students, maybe an education video would suffice. When you do click on the article of choice, your page will appear like this. So for example, this is a PCR video and it gives information about your entire access through your university. Now, as a faculty member, we can uh, curate content based on your course material, and you can then make it accessible for your students. So we compile relevant videos from across different sections of JoVE resources and create a course map for you. And we also provide integration support either on your university learning environment, that could be a Moodle or a Blackboard, or we can send it across for a Google Classroom or even a Microsoft platform. So once you do, if you want to embed a single video, you will need to select the embed video section. If you select only the URL, it will redirect students to the JoVE website and ask them to log in. So you can select the embed video option, and based on the platform that you're using, for example, a standard LMS, you can select copy embed code. And for a Microsoft or a Google platform, simply select copy URL. This once hyperlink to your presentations or your Google Classroom sections or your Moodle page will give access to students without them having to sign in. Coming to JoVE playlist, it is a way that we can help faculty members streamline teaching. We can help researchers train new lab members and also help accelerate their research by finding videos from the research site. You can share these playlists with your colleagues and your students. You can customize it as per your course and as per the level that they are involved in. You can locate it easily in your JoVE account, and this is very useful for engaging with students and new lab members. So if your lab is dealing with a particular set of instruments and has a particular theme, we can create a, a research playlist for you that demonstrates those techniques and focuses on those instrumentations also. You can create your own playlist. You can simply go to the My Playlist section. You will be diverted to a Create Playlist option and you can select videos of your choice. Or you can simply share your course syllabus or topic of interest with JoVE Curriculum Specialist team. We are helping faculty members from across the globe. We have a STEM background and master's degrees and PhD degrees. So what we do is basically bring our academic experience into our job, and we curate content that is most relevant for the course topics shared. We also help you get the most out of your JoVE subscription, because the understanding that we have of the JoVE platform would be very useful in curating content. For example, a clinical medicine faculty would only look at clinical skills section, while there are a few videos that could be relevant for them in the biology section on anatomy. So our SME team, that is the subject matter expert team, can actually curate content from different sections and bring it forth for you. You can then use those playlists to cherry pick videos of your choice. Here are a few examples of playlists that we've created based on their course modules. So for example, this is a chemistry forensic science playlist. So based on the units, we have created playlist. This is a playlist on fluorescent spectroscopy course module. This is again continuation of the previous playlist. So as you can see, we have added research as well as education videos to provide students with the transcend of information. This is a playlist again for another institute. We can also create research skills playlist where we can add a very basic concept. We can add a methodology video and an application video. This will help young students and with critical analysis and thinking. This particular example shows a playlist on instrumentation. And this one is basically a playlist that we created on a topic of cytotoxicity assay that was shared by a professor. And we brought in all of the relevant material from the platform. If you can see, they are from different sections. We've just brought it together that were relevant for this particular topic. So we can create research oriented playlists also. Faculty members also have access to JoVE quizzes that could be useful for formative assessments, graded and ungraded both. So for example, if you were to share a playlist with your students, You can create a quiz and they will appear like this. Students can watch a video and they can then answer the quizzes. Coming to the Faculty Resource Center page, which I mentioned earlier, that is very useful for faculty members, for researchers, and even for students to find videos. These are pre-mapped sample playlists in different subject areas. You will be able to see a glimpse of it. So for example, in the biology section, you will find different topics that are covered, and there are relevant videos in all of this. We also map textbooks, so any of your suggested readings can be covered by us. What we will do is based on the content or the topic of content for those particular textbooks, we can create the maps. And these are currently the textbooks that are available with us. So for example, if you see there's a Leninger, there's an Albert Bruce, there is chemistry books here. So these could be useful, and we can also do this for any suggested readings that you offer your students. So once your access is activated, you will be in the good hands of a curriculum specialist. What we do is we bring JoVE to you. We can provide support, training, webinars, and one-on-one sessions both. We can also be able to visit the campus and connect with faculty members, understand their course requirements, the level that they are teaching. We can then curate content and create JoVE playlist, which can then be easily reviewed by faculty members. This saves a lot on their time, and we can create refresher playlists for incoming batches. We can do department wide mappings. We can also do individual courses and research playlist. We can then, after creating these playlists and after your review process is done, you can then connect with us to help you access and integrate content and make it available to your students. And we are also available to always troubleshoot any hiccups that you may face. Thank you very much for your patient listening. And this session is now open to questions.
So, Prerna, thanks for very comprehensive session. Just one thing I wanted to ask. You mentioned about the test book which are available.
Yes.
All these test books available in full?
Yes. So what they are only videos that we've mapped to their content. The entire reading material of the textbook is not available. So say the table of content for Leninger, if for the chapter one, if I can just quickly show you that. So I'll just take you to the JoVE platform live. So on JoVE platform, just go to Faculty Resource Center and say if you're at this textbook. So the first chapter for Leninger is Foundation of Biochemistry. And what we've done is we've created, based on the headings of those particular textbooks, we've created a playlist. So different, like whatever is covered in that particular chapter, we have tried to cover with the playlists. So while students are reading the textbook, they can find this very useful in terms of understanding the concept.
And all this can be embedded to the our course material also. Faculty member can embed all these things to their study
Yes.
material.
Yes. So
Yes.
if you're using a platform that is like if you're using Google and Microsoft platform, like for example, a Google Classroom or MS Teams or MS PPTs, we can provide you with ready to use embed codes. If you're using a Moodle platform, then you can simply download this CC and I can help you embed the entire common cartridge. So students can just, I mean, they won't even have to change the platform. They will be on the university learning environment and they'll be able to see the videos over there.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks. If the attendee having any question, they can either Prerna, they can unmute themselves. No, they have option to unmute.
Yes, 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 yes.
They can
They
unmute
can
and ask.
absolutely
Yeah,
unmute.
they can unmute and ask the question if they have any.
Yes, and if they would like, they can also, um,
Yeah, put in the chat box if they.
yeah, anything works. A lot of students can also actually use the research videos. So what they can what faculty members generally do is they maybe select 5 research articles and give it across to students as an assignment, and students can then review that, and this helps in critical analysis and thing, because it's much easier to comprehend the video. If you see a research article, the author actually walks you through the entire research. They tell you the thought behind, why they are performing a particular research theme. They tell you about the applications, the conclusions. So it's very easy for students to understand the research article. So even if you are looking at the research side, that could be very useful for students.